All right, all right. Happy Monday to United Nation. Hopefully, everybody's doing amazing today. It's the 9th of December already. It's amazing how the last few months of the year have passed us by, and
Wow.
it's just a few days before Christmas, and only a few days before the end of the year, to be honest, end of the decade. And I uh, I know that this next couple of weeks are going to be very hectic for everybody. But one of the things that I always think about this time of the year is it just brings us back to being thankful, being grateful, allowing for ourselves to center back into things that we have, the things that are in the present, in the now. And that's why really we wanted to launch this Gratitude December challenge. I hope all of you that are listening tonight or watching this video on the replay are part of our United Facebook chatbot. I've been working with the marketing team very closely to really change our direction in terms of how we market on social media because, in reality, it's such a key part of marketing these days. And I'm a firm believer that adding value at every turn and every corner, it really creates an environment where people just want to be around you. And one of the things we wanted to do is just share 21 days of messages through this messenger bot, through the Facebook page that you can possibly share, right? That you can possibly share with your friends, with your family, with people that you know, people that are in your Facebook list, and that are not necessarily a pitch, not necessarily something that you are promoting a product, or there's enough of that out there every single day. And the reality is that nobody likes to be sold, right? When telemarketers call your home at crazy hours and want to pitch you something, what do? You hang up the phone. Social media is no different. Social media is just basically a reflection of who we are because we select ourselves. We select who do we want to be around with. We want to select we want to be friends with, and with our likes, our shares, the time we spent scrolling and reading and things like that, we're basically telling the platforms what we like, what we want, right? And many people are very paranoid about privacy and, oh my God, they're invading my privacy. They're listening to what I'm saying and all this and that. But the truth of the matter is that you've voluntarily signed up for an account. You're voluntarily telling them what you like and what you like to read and what you like to share. You're telling them everything about yourself. So you've volunteered all this information. Now, this is not to make you paranoid or anxious or stress you out, but the reality is that I truly believe in my heart that people are a lot, I should say, gooder than what we think they are, right? There's very few people that will use this information to use it against you or try to extort you or what. It's probably less than 0.0001%, right? Why do we hear about it sometimes? Because the news love to expose that stuff, right? The news love to make a big deal out of the less than 1% situations because people are drawn to that, right? So I think the reality of things, though, is that social media is such a powerful tool and such a powerful way to connect human beings, right? It's just basically a huge network of people that are connected, usually by common interests, usually by friends of friends of friends, right? Because if you really look at your Facebook friends, you possibly know personally 10% of them. The others are your friends that you've connected with at some point in time, either have sent you a friend request that you have accepted, or you've sent a friend request that they have accepted, right? Does that mean that you guys are close friends? No. But that means that at least at some point in time, you guys decided to know each other at a certain level. Now, for most people, that is probably level zero, right? It's just like, man, this person seems cool. I'm going to accept it. Some people are more selective than others. Some people accept all the friend requests that come their way, right? Or vice versa. So, really, the reality of it is that you have a treasure trove of contacts at your disposal and of people that you could potentially contact every single day, right? I'll be hard pressed if a lot of you don't have at least 500 friends. Most people have more than 500 friends on social media, either Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and so forth and so on, right? So what if we started thinking about all those people as potential TrueNited members? And we started thinking about smart ways, efficient ways to start picking our team among some of these people that you know on the internet. Because the reality is that this is a new era of direct sales. This is a new era of networking, right? It used to be that in order for you to build a business, you had to physically shake hands, you had to physically speak or get to know or anything else, right? Or had to go knock on doors or any of these things. Those times are gone, and they've been gone for years and years, but our mind is still stuck many times in those days. Now, something that will never change is personal connection, relationships. People will always want to go back to being human beings, to feel closeness to somebody, to feel empathy with somebody, to feel of like mind, and in our case, of like heart, right? Those are the people you're looking for. So how do you sift through some of your potentially big networks out there and start identifying some people that might be a good fit for your team? Because you're not necessarily wanting everybody in your team. And this is something important that we need to come to terms with, that there's going to be people that you definitely don't want in your team. So now, does that sound like, oh my God, you're being too strict here? No. It's not that we don't want to help everybody, but people that we want to help, the first thing is that they need to desire to be helped. But if some people are just happy and content where they're at, then let them be happy, right? There's no point of trying to show them a different way if they're already happy and content, and if that's what they're expressing. So how do I tap into my huge network? And while I was working out this morning, we had a especially hard workout. Mondays are typically those days where you regret right after going that I shouldn't have come on Monday, but it's also the most important day of the week, because it kind of slingshots you into the rest of the week to get that nice, beautiful routine going. And this morning, as I was huffing and puffing in the gym, I thought about this term of making first contact, right? I've been thinking a lot about the phrase that I mentioned a couple of weeks back that basically says, the next hello could be the one that changes your life. What does that mean exactly? That means that the next person you say hello to could be the next person that goes legend in your TrueNited business, right? You really never know. But the critical piece of that is that you must make first contact. You must say hello. You must engage in conversation, and don't feel tempted to go straight to the kill, right? We got to create some relationships first, because just think about it. If I would meet Ron at a restaurant, at an airport, on a flight or something like that, it wouldn't be like, hey, my name is Carlos, what's your name? And he would say, my name is Ron. And then the next sentence out of me would be, I want to show you the Freedom Hack video, right? What would Ron do? It's like, whoa, man, hold up. What the heck is that? No, I got to start finding out something about Ron that maybe we have in common. And just because social media is there, the information is public, guess what? You have the ability to go to some people profiles and start looking at what things they are interested in. What kind of posts do they share? What kind of things do they say? What kind of pictures do they take? It's not stalking. It's market research. It's interviewing your team, finding out who they are. And then once you create this certain common ground, then you can send a message and say, hello, my name is my name is Carlos. We haven't spoken before, but I saw that you're into fitness like me. What kind of workouts do you like? Right? And chances are I'm going to get 1 or 2 responses. He's going to say, man, this guy's weird. Why is he contacting me? Or, man, I'm into CrossFit too. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I went this morning and I enjoyed it, and it was a hard workout, blah, 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 right? Because people, at the end of the day, love to talk about themselves. So let them talk about themselves and about the things that are interesting to them, and get to know them first. Is this going to take some time? For sure it's going to take some time. Is this going to be an investment of your time? 100%. This is part of you building a team of people that you have some common interests with, because I tell you what, it's a lot easier to work a business that hopefully will be a lifetime business for you, to work with people that have common interests and that you can do life with, than to have people that are completely different than you, right? So might as well do a little bit of the work up front to find out, and start creating those relationships and start building that soil and fertilizing the ground. So when the time comes, you can share what you have to share with them. Does that make sense, Ron?
Yeah, makes total sense. And it's you're going to enjoy yourself so much more in building this business because you're looking for like-minded people to bring on board with you. Okay, everything Carlos is talking about, it's so much easier to find groups of common interest, and start getting on and tied into maybe some blogs or some different social groups that whatever you enjoy doing, then use that as not a way to go out with a spear and try to yank people out of that group, but genuinely try to build relationships and find out if there isn't some more common ground. And inevitably those conversations turn to, well, what do you do for daytime? What do you do for a living? And now that gives you the opportunity to try to develop that relationship further. And a lot of times somebody says, well, I'm really, might not necessarily be looking for that sort of thing right now. And I said, well, that's fine. I said, we're always looking for people really that are kind of looking for options maybe at this point. But do you know anybody in your sphere of influence that really might be kind of looking right now? So this is a way to take a relationship and maybe start expanding it. And that was something that I was taught in my career, that to be quite honest, it's a whole nother art form, if you will, rather than just bringing somebody on board, but now how to really further dive into that person's sphere of influence. And I know this is taking this in a little bit different direction, Carlos, but I think that's so important for people to learn both skill sets, because it is so critical to not just bring somebody on board, but now let me help you start building your corporation. Let's start help building your group out with people that you'd be excited to have with you.
100%. And it takes that first contact.
Yes.
So many of us are afraid of that first contact.
Yes.
Because we think that we have to go straight out with a pitch.
Right.
No, the first contact is hello. If you get a hello back, you're like, cool, they replied.
Yeah.
How you doing today? Hope you're having an awesome week. This is just like you were, just think about it. Social media is a giant mixer, right? You're at a big party with a whole bunch of people that have agreed to at least know your name. Because they know your name. You don't have to go through the, hey, what's your name? My name is Ron. No, they already know your name. So you don't have to go through that. You already can say, hello, how you doing? I see that you're into blank. I see that you like blank, right? By the way, I'm interested in that. So this is something that I would like to everybody in the United Nation, and right now to people that are listening to us and watching the replay of this video, is why don't we make a commitment to our businesses because this is all about building your business for the future. Why do we make a commitment that, along with the gratitude challenge that we're doing, we decide that in the next week, we're going to do first contact with at least 5 people a day. Now, I think that's a very low number, considering how many friends you have on social media. Now, do you pick randomly who it is? Up to you, but I would recommend do a little bit of homework who you want to contact first. That way you're kind of in the loop. Make notes, right? Like if I'm checking Ron's profile, I'm going to probably make a couple notes so that when I'm talking to him, I kind of know a little bit about him. Because if Ron tells me, hey, Carlos, I see that you're into working out or beautiful kids, or man, that's an amazing Christmas tree in your house. I'm like, man, Ron, thanks so much. And I'm going to feel I'm going to feel good because he's been doing a little bit of the homework and he's, giving me compliments that chances are most people don't do on a daily basis. That's one of the things, guys, out there, that people are starved for attention. People are starved for a feeling of importance. So if you give a little bit of that in a genuine way, they're going to be very receptive to that. It's not going to feel like, oh man, this guy is going to pitch me something. No. And of course, have short conversations here and there, engage, go. This is how social media works anyways. So this is how you can start building your base and start building those prospects to where it gets to a point where I'm ready. I'm ready to share the freedom hack with this person. I'm ready to get this person on the phone with Carlos, with Ron, with James, with Kevin, with Steve, with whoever your upline is, right? This is where you can now, after a little bit of an engagement and relationship, you can start going into certain topics a little deeper. But don't feel like you don't have any resources or you don't know anybody. The excuse of I don't know anybody is out the door in this time, in this day and age. I am sorry. But social media has made it so that you can pretty much build a network of 500 to 1,000 people in 15 days. Just imagine. If you go into people's profiles and you see who their friends are, and you send 5 friends requests to those 5 friends that you are not friends with, guess what? They are going to accept. Most of those people, even though they don't know you from Adam, they're going to accept. Right? They're going to say yes to the possibility of getting to know you, because that's really what they're saying to. They're not saying yes to, oh my God, be my BFF. No, they're accepting the possibility of at some point in time getting to know you. And chances are they might even send you a message. And chances are they might even try to recruit you to something else. So be prepared for that too. Right? So James Katina is at a party with a whole bunch of people and he needs to go downstairs and go make contact, first contact. Go, brother. Please go make first contact with a whole bunch of people in person. So guys, that's what I had in my heart today. I hope you take it to heart as well. You have abundance of prospects at your command in your social media today. Make first contact. I hope you can, for the rest of the week, take time, 5, 10 a day, just hello, how you doing? Hope you're having a good week. I see you're into this. Man, I'm also interested in that, right? Very easy to create these conversations. And I'm going to bring James Wood on here because he had also a great one that he shared with us on the leadership call, or the leadership chat, I should say. There you are. James, are you on?
I am. Give me 1 second.
Awesome. Comb your hair real fast. There you go.
I know Ron isn't laughing. That wasn't Ron laughing, was it? Was that the was it?
Thank you, brother.
Calling the kettle black, is that what that one is?
No, never.
So Danetta, let me answer this question real fast, James. Danetta is asking, is there a general guideline of how long or how many times you engage with someone before you share United that you are not approaching too soon? Danetta, there's really not. You kind of have to. This comes with practice. See, when people haven't done it before, I understandably so they're going to be nervous. Those first contacts are going to be a little nerve-wracking. It's going to feel like, you're first to the dance floor and you're like, man, what am I doing? Am I doing things right? Am I doing things wrong? Don't feel that way. It's really all about connecting at some level with the person, right? There's no right or wrong. Are you going to go too fast sometimes? Sure, you're going to go too fast. Are you going to go too slow some other times? Yes, you're going to go too slow. But the thing here is that there's abundance of people. And I've always said this, and I will continue saying it until I'm blue in the face. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person, just as you cannot say the right thing to the wrong person. So don't feel rushed. Don't feel like it's taking too long either, or don't feel like it's too soon. Just do it whenever your gut tells you. And eventually you're going to do it enough, and you're going to practice this enough that your gut and your instinct is going to tell you now's the time. And most likely people are going to give you signals of when it's the good time. James, can you share with them what were you were sharing with us earlier today?
Which one was that, Carlos? We've been talking about the prospecting stuff for so long.
Well, you sent us a little blurb about something you sent to people that you don't know, right? So maybe even share. I mean, everybody can inject their own style in there,
for sure.
But this is something that I think, for some people that maybe are afraid to what to say, it might, coming from you, and I always like for people to hear it from several different people, because they might not understand me or my accent, but they might understand you and your approach.
Yeah. I think the most important thing before I go into what we shared earlier was one of the things that I like to kind of go by is if there isn't something about somebody that impresses you or blows you away, or some kind of synergy, something that you can genuinely have a common bond with or a connection with, it's probably not somebody you should be talking to about your business, because it goes back to what you're saying, Carlos, is you're looking to build a team. You're looking for business partners. You're looking for, inevitably, these are people you're going to spend some time with. And I would hope that we're making those decisions on who we're going to be in business with based on, we've done a little research. We've done some, there's something about somebody. Like you said, Carlos, if, you're taking a look at somebody's profile and you see they're into fitness and you're looking through their posts, you've already got some synergy. There's a great conversation that you can have there. There's some commonality, and this goes for when you're out and about as well. If there isn't something about somebody that just blows me away, whether, professionally dressed, very sharp, they've been really helpful when it comes to customer service. If there isn't something about somebody that just blows my mind, or that I can see attributes in them, business attributes, something along those lines, I usually don't say nothing to them. Like you said, there's so many people out there that we can talk to about our business. It just makes sense to be a little bit more selective on who we make that first contact with. And that holds true with Facebook as well. Now, earlier I had, in our little leadership chat, I had sent a screenshot. I'm connected to a bunch of people. Some of them I don't honestly know how I even got connected with them. And I think that's the case for a lot of us. And I've seen that so the one common thing that I did see is this, he lives in Denver. And I'm like, oh, really? I know some people in Denver, and but he hasn't posted in weeks. He very rarely posts on social media. So it's not like I could just go on and comment on a post from 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, because it's going to, it's not going to be as genuine. But I did want to reach out and just say, hey, I thought I'd reach out to you. I don't necessarily remember how we got connected. Kind of just asking him, like, hey, I normally spend a little bit of time here and there. reaching out to some of my connections that I don't normally correspond with, just to get to know a little bit about them, just to see how we got connected. And I just asked them, I said, maybe you can jog my memory, because I honestly, I don't know how we got connected, and I don't see any friends in common. And the only thing I see is Denver. And I know I wouldn't have sent him a request just for that. And he hasn't responded yet. But, you know, I think one of the most important things that you've mentioned, Carlos, is that the ability for people to just be patient. You know, this gentleman may reach out to me today, tomorrow. I'm going to have a conversation with him, and we'll probably figure out how we did end up getting connected to each other. And I'm in no rush in the next day, even maybe week or two, to say anything to him about TrueNited, you know, because it's not just him that I'm corresponding with. I think another thing that you mentioned, Carlos, that's powerful. If you are making first contact and following up with people, you know, 3, 4, 5, 10 people a day, and you're constantly, you know, you've constantly got this group of people that you're engaging with and you're reaching out to, then you're not so worried about like beating somebody in the head with TrueNited in the first 2 seconds. It's all a matter of this process of engaging, interacting, and kind of sorting, seeing through dialogue. Do I have something in common? You know, are they even conversational? Some people you reach out to, you can see they read it, they just blow you off. You know, there's a process here to reaching out and having dialogue with people. And I'll admit, in the beginning, it doesn't have really much to do with TrueNited. I'm putting, like I said, you guys have heard me say, you know, put TrueNited in your pocket where nobody can see it, and then go foster some relationships, go interact with people, go engage and create dialogue and have conversation and get to know people. And you'll find that the time is going to come. Danetta, you asked, like, well, is there a protocol on how long you wait? There isn't. But if you're focused on TrueNited, then you may be worried about when can I talk to them about it. But if you're focusing on having a conversation and having a dialogue and engaging and interacting and building rapport and finding some commonality, you'll find that time is you'll know exactly when that time comes. So I think just in closing, I don't want to take up too much time. I think the most important thing would be, one, reaching out to a bunch of people every day. You know, if this consistency comes back to mind about being an influencer, you have to do this, and you can't just do one every couple of days, or desperation kicks in and you're going to be feeling impatient. If you're reaching out to a handful of folks every single day, then any single one individual, you're not going to have that urgency to have that conversation with them right out of the gate. This is a sorting process. And in the scheme of things, we're only looking for one a month. One sharp, talented person that you have some synergy with, that there's some commonality, and they see the vision of TrueNited. And then the other thing would be, don't be in such a hurry to whip TrueNited out as soon as you can. And just know that if you're engaging with enough people, the time is going to show itself all on its own.
Exactly right, brother. Appreciate that. I added a few more of our leaders to our panelist list. If you guys want to open your microphone and videos, go right ahead. There they are. Howdy, partner.
Bro, you want to hear some secrets?
Yes. Spill the beans.
I'm just looking. There's not like 1,000 people on here tonight. There should be.
Well, it's gonna be watched by 1,000 people once I put it on Facebook.
One day.
So, guys, I know. Well, I'm going to share something with you that most people don't know, and you probably never would know unless somebody decided to slip out some secrets. And I'm going to slip out a couple secrets right now. If you want to know what it's going to take to be successful, guys, you've got to shift your mindset. You've got to shift your mindset. You have to shift the way you look at life and the way you think. The people that you're wanting to join your business are going to look at you. They're going to go check you out. If they go to your Facebook page and they spend a minute and a half on your Facebook page, your Facebook post, your pictures are going to tell them everything they need to know. Mm-hmm. And I'm begging you guys, whatever you do in 2020, you have got to go get understanding. It talks about this in Proverbs. And the reason that I'm sharing this with you guys today is because I had a conversation with Natalie earlier today. She had a meeting with a multi-millionaire up in Canada. And he was very intrigued at some of the posts that she's been making recently on her Facebook and in Instagram and on her LinkedIn page. And she went and had lunch with this guy today, and he opened up and shared some things with her that we're not going to hear. We're just not going to hear. These are secrets that most people that are very, very ultra successful are not going to share. And there's a reason, because when you start talking about the Bible, you're going to turn a lot of people off. But the fact is there are some spiritual, universal laws that are all throughout the Bible. And Bob Proctor teaches on these. Tony Robbins teaches on these. The most successful people in the world understand these. They have a little bit different way of sharing them. But what he started sharing with Natalie today was how important the book of Proverbs has been for him. And in the book of Proverbs, it says this: in all of your getting, and this is very critical, you guys have got to understand what this means. In all of your getting, get understanding. Seek wisdom like you would seek the most valuable treasures that you can possibly think of. Because listen, if you do not understand how we are created, what you're truly capable of doing, if you don't understand that, you're going to go through life blind. You're going to go through life basing all of your decisions based on how you feel, based on the results that you're looking at. If you are looking at your results and you're letting those results dictate how you feel, you're going to continue to repeat the same things over and over and over and over again. If you're going to your United back office and you're looking at your team and you're not seeing the growth that you want to see, if you look at your paycheck and you're not seeing the size of a paycheck that you want to see, what's it going to do? It's going to cause you, if you don't understand this, it's going to cause you to feel bad, because you're looking at your results and you're letting those results tell you who you are, tell you how effective you are. You cannot do that. You have to understand how important it is to get a clear mental picture in your mind of exactly what it is that you want. And that is what you have to think about. Because if you're thinking about what you can see, smell, hear, taste, and touch, you're basically living in survival mode. We were given intellect. We were given, our mental faculties, your imagination, your intuition, your perception. These are things that distinguish us between animals. If you take the mind out of a man, then you're going to find the same things that you're going to find in a donkey. Okay. The mind is what differentiates us. We have these mental faculties. Most people don't know how to use these. So here you've got to go get understanding. You've got to go and understand how you're created. And if you're not around people that know how to do that, you need to go find people that can teach you that. It's critical. It is absolutely critical that you understand what you're truly capable of. Mike Popovich told us this last year. And those of us that were getting on the book studies, we heard him say it over and over and over. You already have everything you need inside of you to be great. We've heard that so many times it just goes in one ear and out the other. Nobody really understands what that means. We absolutely must, in all of our getting, go get understanding. You have to understand how your mind works. You have to understand that what you're thinking about, you're going to bring about. We've all heard it said before, as a man thinks, so is he. We become what we think about. If you think you can or if you think you can't, you're right. We've heard that so many times it becomes a cliche that goes in one ear and out the other. If you do not invest in yourself, if you do not invest in renewing your mind and upgrading your thinking, like you upgrade your smartphone, like you upgrade your TV, like you upgrade your car, if you do not do that, you are going to continue to get the same results year after year after year. I have seen a massive shift in my life in the last 12 months. Massive. Because I finally got sick and tired of getting the same results year in and year out, knowing in my heart that I was meant for something more. We're all meant for something more than what we're doing. We all have that longing inside of us that says there's something missing. We have this feeling that there's something missing. And if you can just get your ego and your pride out of the way, and it took me a long time to do that, guys. And I'm just shooting you straight here. It took a long time for me to get that out of my way and understand that there might be somebody that might have something that can help me instead of me thinking I know it all. And I've humbled myself, guys, and I have admitted to massive mistakes in my life. The biggest mistake that I've made over the last 18 years is tell the same story over and over about why I'm not successful. If you're telling people stories, if you're telling yourself stories to make it okay that you're where you're at, you've got to swallow that pride. You've got to go and find somebody that can help you. There's a lot of resources out there available. And if you're not willing to go and invest in yourself, guys, you're going to continue to get the same results year in and year out. I don't know if I talked about this last week. I'm going to read these real quick and then I'm going to turn it over because you guys know me. I'll go on and on. Napoleon Hill. We all know Napoleon Hill. If you don't, you need to go find Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich. Chapter 9 is on persistence. Napoleon Hill talked about his study, his time with Ford and Edison. He spent a lot of time with them. And he said the only thing that he found that made them stand out, the only quality about Ford and Edison that he could find that may be the cause of their massive success was persistence. They absolutely believed and saw in their mind what they wanted, and they did not waver from that, and they stayed the course. They didn't let anybody tell them that they couldn't do it. They didn't let anybody tell them that it was impossible. They stayed the course. In Chapter 9 of Persistence, there's 4 things that we need to do. 1, you have to have a definite purpose backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. And as this pertains to Trunited, you have to decide, listen, guys, you have to decide that you want to make your Trunited business work. If you're not going to make the decision that you want Trunited business to work, you guys you're just doing busy work. You're just doing busy work. You need to make the decision that you want to make this work. We know that it's a great company. We know that this company deserves our loyalty. We know all the things that distinguish us from the other companies that are out there. We know that. We know how great our comp plan is. Make the decision that in 2020, you are going to do whatever it takes to be successful with Trunited. Have a burning desire to create. If you want to make $800 a month, there's people on here that are only making $100 a month. If you want to make 8 times more money, set a goal for yourself, $800 a month. Set a goal, $2,500 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $50,000 a month. Whatever it is, set that goal. See that in your mind. Have a burning desire for its fulfillment. Number 2, you need a definite plan and you need continuous action. You can't do something today, take 2 weeks off. Maybe you'll do something in 3 weeks, then take another 2 weeks off. Listen, James Wood created the Freedom Hack for all of us to use 24/7, 365. You don't have to know everything about Trunited. You just need to know how to send somebody to thefreedomhack.com. That video there will tell people everything they need to know. Once they watch that, help them get their account and then plug them in. You need a mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, including negative suggestions from your family, from your friends, and from your coworkers. Because I promise you right now, if you listen to other people that want to take your dream from you, if you listen to them instead of us, they're going to take your dream and you're going to continue to get the same results year in and year out. Listen to somebody who's been there, done that, and had success, that knows what they're talking about, that has what you want. Listen to them. Number 4, and this is important because this is what we have right here. This is one of the big differences between what we have in Trunited and what other companies have. A friendly alliance with 1 or more people who will encourage you to follow through with your plan and your purpose. Every Wednesday night, Worthy Wednesday with James Katina, with Rich Linehan, with Gilmore, with James. Every Wednesday night, there is a friendly alliance that is going to encourage you, that's going to inspire you, that's going to listen to you, that's going to share secrets with you, that are going to help you. Surround yourself with people that have what you're looking for. Surround yourself with people who are going to believe in you, who are going to inspire you, who are going to encourage you. And when it comes time for you to start mingling with other people, to start having these icebreakers, to start meeting people, to start, starting the dialogue, always remember this. Imagine that they have MMFI right across their forehead, and that stands for Make Me Feel Important. because everybody out there wants somebody to make them feel important. And if you can get really good at making other people feel important, you're going to win their confidence, you're going to win their trust, and you're going to have an ability to start a relationship with them and introduce them to this amazing company. What is it that you want? If you do not upgrade your thinking, if you don't invest in yourself, if you don't go in all of your getting, get understanding, if you don't seek wisdom, you're not going to understand anything that I'm saying, and you're going to continue to get the same results year in and year out. It's time. 2020 is a new decade. Forget new year. It's a new decade. And it's time for us to make a commitment to ourselves that we're going to go out there and we're going to live the very best life we can. We get one of them as far as we know. We get one. There's people out there that are doing things with much less than what we have. Every single one of us in this webinar right now, regardless of where you came from or how much money you have an advantage over 97% of the people in this world right now. There's absolutely no excuse why we should go through 2020 and not see 100% or more increase in what we did in 2019. There's no excuse for it. We've got an amazing company here with amazing people that will help you. You have to swallow your pride, accept that there might be some things that you don't know, go invest in yourself, learn, shift your thinking, and let's go have an amazing 2020. Guys, I will continue to bring as much value as I possibly can because I've seen a massive shift, and it feels good to be able to get up and go look in the mirror and be proud of who I'm looking at, to see a body that I didn't think was possible at 53 years old, to feel great to know that I can create the very life that I want. If something bothers me, I don't think about it. Stop putting creative energy into things that you don't like. Only see what you want. Focus on what you want. Get clear with what you want, and let's go get it. I love you guys. I do, and I love this company. And I'm not ever leaving this company. I don't care who else goes and does this and does that on here. I don't care who calls and says, what are you still doing there? You could be making 10 times more money with us. No, I'm staying right here because I know the heart and soul of this company. And this company deserves our loyalty. This company deserves us to go out there and share with everybody we can. And there's people out there that need what we have. And it's up to us to go do it. Don't wait on somebody else to go do it for you. Let's go do it. Let's make 2020 the freaking best year ever. Let's take True United to where it deserves to be. Up front on the main stage, not tucked away in some back alley over here. I could go on, but I'm going to stop right now because I will keep on.
Let's go, brother.
I'll keep on, Carl.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Awesome.
Great
so much.
stuff, Kevin.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Hey, well, on that topic, actually, I just kind of, I think it was James Wood kind of shared a little bit earlier too, is about taking risks. You know, back in the Amway days, I don't know, Ron, if you remember the Perfect Water when that was a big buzz and everything going on. But, you know, I had my list of people to contact, and, you know, one of them was, you know, I was being ambitious and looking at sports team. I actually had the number for Gary Vitti of the Lakers. And I'm like, you know, I'm having that conversation with myself. Should I call him? You know, what if, you know, they're probably not going to entertain my call or whatever. And you know what? I just said, you know what? Why am I doing this? You know, the worst that could happen is they say no, right? So I got his number. I left him a message. And then a day after, he actually called me back, Gary Vitti. And you know, obviously I didn't get, you know, the account with it, but because they have, like, I guess, a contract with another water company or whatever that does that. But, you know, the cool thing about it is he called me back. He called me back and encouraged me, well, you know, appreciate you, but, you know, what you're calling about. But, you know, unfortunately, you know, it's out of our hands. But, you know, hey, he encouraged me. So things like that is, you know, had I decided, like, let the fear take over and me not make that call, well, what if he had said yes? I would have missed out big time on that, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, just, you know, the hardest part is when you do that, if you're having that back and forth conversation, trying to talk yourself out of it, just, you know, I know, Leanne, you've been talking about that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, just do it. You know, the worst I could say is, you know, no, they had the saying that, you know, people don't bite, babies bite, but people don't. Right? So, you know, I've never, you know, in my Amway business, Unite, you know, with the United Gives and all that stuff, I've never had somebody I don't think I've ever had anybody yell at me. I mean, I had somebody say no, thank you, but it's you just got to go through the numbers. Just make contact. Act silly sometimes, and don't take yourself too seriously. And no, you'd be amazed. Like, we have a dog. That's one thing. A lot of our friends that have in common. So I'd go to PetSmart, and you'd be amazing the conversations you have with fellow dog owners, and they'll share, they'll exchange numbers, and so whatever it is, so whatever your passion is, whether if you're, if you have kids that play sports, if you're going to a sporting goods store, and you talk to other people that are kind of in the same situation as you, you'll strike up a conversation, you'll get numbers, and if it leads to you sharing United, great. If it doesn't, hey, you just met somebody new that you never know. It could lead to them sharing a contact. Oh yeah, I know this person would be perfect at. I think they're looking at doing something else, and just go out there and just live life, right?
Yep. Awesome, buddy. Thank you so much. Action cures fear. Let's hear it from the girl.
From the girl. Take it from the girl. It's funny because I wrote down when you were talking, Carlos, about making first contact and how to leverage our social media connections. And I wrote down live life, right? Mm-hmm. So Gilmore just kind of touched on that. So it's a good segue. But, really that's something that I'm personally doing right now. I'm living life with these people for a little while. We're walking the same road together. And it's pretty interesting because sometimes people look really good on the surface, and then as you get going down this road with them, you find that you're really not as compatible as you thought, and that's okay. Yep. It's okay. You found out. We don't need a lot of people, right? We just need the right people, and the only way to find them and to discover one another is to have those relationships and live life for a little while with them, and then you find out if you want to keep going for the rest of your life, right? Exactly. So anyway, I'm just excited because 2020 to me, it conjured up the idea of clear vision, 2020 vision. Mm-hmm. And so this year, that's kind of what I'm holding on to, is gaining clear vision. And that's the same thing with these connections. Walk life, live life with them, walk that road until you have clear vision about them. It's pretty simple, really.
Yeah. You'll know when to share with them.
That's right.
They'll tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Hey, Mike, couple words.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing awesome, brother. How are you?
I'm good. Good. I've been doing some of the same things that people have been talking about, as far as just developing the relationship, not necessarily pitching United to start with, having a little bit of success with that. But I've actually had a couple of people that have seen some posts. We've been talking about social media. You hit on it quite a bit earlier. Mm-hmm. And I've actually asked what it is you're doing. So I've kind of gone that route with them. Just develop the relationship and see if they bring, or ask the question, what it is that you're doing. Because I put stuff, and Carlos, I know you've seen it. I put it on, your story on Messenger. Mm-hmm. I've put a few things on Facebook. Try to add value, and I've had a couple of people reach out. So that's basically what I'm doing. I love this community. I love the leaders chat. we have a quality group of people. That's about all I got to say.
No, Mike, it's been awesome. And guys, for everybody that is listening and watching this, I asked the leaders today to send me a short video, 60 to 90-second video, answering the question, why United? And Mike, you were first in line, man. So thank you so much for that. Your video was awesome. You guys will get to see it very soon. So anybody out there that is listening, watching, I would love for you guys to participate in this. Please don't overcomplicate it. If you know how to take a selfie, you know how to take a selfie video. And I know that all of you eventually or at some point in time have taken a selfie, so don't lie. So take a short selfie video, 60 to 90 seconds, just answering the question, why United for you? And send that video to carlos@united.com. I'm going to love to watch all these videos. We're going to use those on social media. Don't be shy. It's okay. People just need to hear it from a lot of folks. They need to see different faces. They need to see different people sharing their heart. And if you're here in this meeting and you're watching this video, then you've chosen United at some point. So all I'm asking is to share your story with me for 60 to 90 seconds. Make it short so that people actually watch the video. And then we're going to be sharing it with folks as time goes on. Because here's what I see, guys. You know, when people are looking in, and Kevin touched on this, they're going to check us out, right? They're going to look into us. They're going to do their research. They're going to want to see people that are already doing this. And what's amazing about having a company like ours that is so different than the rest is that unless they hear it from enough people, it's hard for them to perceive that message and to receive it, because what's going to happen is they're going to try to relate it to the other thing that they did at some point, or the other thing they got pitched on, or the other bad experience in their life. So what I personally know that is very effective and has been for me in the past is I want to create some bond. I want to create some empathy. I want to create some connections. And people connect to people. People don't connect to products. People don't connect to things. People don't connect to processes. People connect with other people sharing their story, telling others their why or their experiences. You know, I wish I knew a tenth of the football knowledge that Mike Mueller has, right? I mean, he's a professional referee, for God's sakes. So that is a common angle that you could use with hundreds of thousands of people. Just see if they love football, and that's all you have to do, man.
That's right.
Right? And
it is.
And that's all. And you could probably talk to them for hours about that and create connections, relationships, friendships even, you know, that carry forever. But, you know, truth of the matter is that I sit at a table and people start talking about football. All I have to say is like, I like the Broncos. That's all I know, right?
Yep.
So, you know, all of us have knowledge, talents, strengths, desires, hobbies, things we're passionate about, that there's people out there that are looking for others that have common knowledge. So guys, lose the fear, go out, connect with some people, make first contact this week and for the rest of the year. I guarantee you, if you just take yourself out of the equation and overthink this and just say hello, 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 you'll be surprised. You'll be so wonderfully surprised at how people respond and they connect with you. And then as you get to know them a little more, just like Kevin said, as they check you out on your profile, you can check them out and you can know about them. They're telling you, they're volunteering all this information that in a regular face-to-face situation, you would have to dig for. You would have to ask for. It's all there. So let's use the tools that we have at our disposal. Let's be grateful for where we are in time. Live the present. The only thing that matters at the end of the day is today. What you do today is what's going to matter tomorrow. and you have 24 hours in the day, all of us have exactly the same time. Set aside some time for your business. It's important that you prioritize your business. If your dreams and goals and what you're seeing in your mind and your heart about your future is strong, is vivid, it's clear, then that has to be in direct proportion to the amount of time that you spent in your business and the activity in your business. So thank you so much for being here tonight. I hope for those of you that are watching this video that you've stuck long enough to get to this part. We are an amazing community of like-minded, like-hearted people that want one thing above the rest, and is to see you win, to see you succeed, and to see you fulfill your dreams and goals. Thank you so much, guys. Good night.
Awesome. Good night, everybody.